Hello YouTube, I want to start doing some more video reviews on scooter parts. I've ridden so many over the years being sponsored by so many different companies that I thought it's only right to kind of review a couple of products. We're starting with quite an old one today. It's a clamp from the old Gear Nitro. We're talking like the first Gear Nitro. We're going way back to 2010. I believe it was released in 2010. Now, I have a more modern one right here. I've taken the logo off. Now, the good things about this clamp is that it has 8mm bolts. That was ahead of its time in 2010. I don't think there was a single clamp on the market that didn't had these bolts at all. They do have 5mm Allen key slots, but it doesn't really affect it in any way, because people would say they round off, but I've only rounded a few because these are actually kind of deeper than a lot of different ones. Especially at the time, there was Razor, there was a few other companies. They all rounded off so easily. That's what I didn't like about any other clamp, is they weren't as good as these. Nowadays you see 6mm Allen keys. Those are definitely better, but there's nothing wrong with these. The only bad thing about these clamps is the headset covering cap that was built in. It doesn't really do very well. I know from the first, prototypes that this was only there to cover the old compression system that they had. I'll try and explain. It has these little ridges on the side of the clamp. I don't know if you can really see that, but basically these ridges, I've cut off the headset cap covering thing because it is useless. Initially they had it so it would cover up this pin that would go through the fork, and that pin held the compression bolt in the middle of the fork. And obviously, as you can already kind of imagine, drilling a hole in the side of the fork tube is ridiculous. It sacrificed all the strength. I actually rode one of these forks and the compression system, I believe, on the Scotland Invasion tour. And obviously, if you're well informed, I forgot my scooter, so we had to build up a scooter for me, and I had to ride that fork. It bent, it broke eventually. But yeah, I'm glad that they ditched that design. As far as I'm aware, in the UK, they didn't actually release that fork onto the Nitro complete. But regardless, the clamp is phenomenal. I've had that since 2010. I only paid £10 off some eBay seller for this clamp, and it's amazing. I got this one just because this one's wearing out, or at least it feels like it. The actual threading on the clamp itself is actually starting to go. I've replaced the bolts here and there with different ones because I've had it so long. But yeah, hopefully this one lasts just as long. Another little thing that changed was the shape. This one's just a more rounded off version of the old one that I have. Yeah, I can't recommend the Gear clamp enough. I'm sure that even the MFX and the old Nitros, the slightly newer Nitro series, like the VX series, all those clamps are very similar to these ones. So pick them up, they're really good. Can't say enough about them. And as for reviews, I've got a few others lined up that I want to do. I've got these and this. So let me know what you think about me doing reviews, whether you liked this one or not. Personally, with my parts, I don't really go with, the style or the trend as such. I tend to go with parts that actually work really well. Even when I was sponsored, I was trying to persuade these companies to actually make stronger and better parts that are more adaptable for everything, rather than just making a proprietary part for, say, like the IHC fork was started by MV, I believe, and stuff like that. It just doesn't compute in scooter parts in general. Like, I want to be able to grab a proto clamp I want to be able to grab my elite wheels or root wheels or whatever and put them all together and it just work. It seems there's so many parts conflicting each other nowadays, and I just like the nice standard parts. So I always ride something that I believe in, sort of thing. So that's the kind of thing I want to try and show with my reviews, is something that I've ridden for a good amount of time. I know it well, and I can give my honest opinion about parts, because that's how I felt in the companies that I was sponsored by. I wanted to try and show my passion for actually making scooters kind of a standard, so that everyone can buy parts that they like from each company. So I'll end it with that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this short review of the Mad Gear Nitro clamp. It's been phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.